I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
All right. Just gotta do a wait.
We gotta do a big wait.
The big wait.
That was a big
loud
swallow.
drink.
That was a big swallow.
What can I say? All right, so we're live.
All right.
Are we?
Yeah, we're live. I was just giving time for the advertisement, but that works
Because
too.
advertisements suck.
Did we finally get sponsored by NordVPN for only $3.75 a month? You too.
Please stop. It's bad enough that we got an actual offer from Audacity.
Wait, what?
We got an offer to be sponsored by Audacity, but we elected not to.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
No, we put it in the chat. It was a big talk and everything. Like, we all had this. I'm not doing this right now. Hello and welcome to the Barcast. The bar gets lower every single week. Your bartenders for this evening will be a non-pencil.
Leonardo DiCaprio was almost raped by a bear.
Enigmatic Otaku.
No, don't touch me there. This is my no square.
Milk.
I don't even know how to fucking follow up on that.
And my name is I Love a Bear. This week, we have the conclusion to our 3-part saga. Jake the Army Guy ran a contest to find the greatest writer on film fiction, or at very least, who would write something very cute. And we have the winner today. We have Raugos with us.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
It's good to have you here, my friend. Congratulations on winning the contest. It's well earned.
Thank you.
Now, for those who are tuning in for the very first time to our crazy little podcast, hello and welcome. We are a community-oriented podcast where you politely request the guests. We politely ask them on. You ask them questions and we make them miserable for 2 hours. Not literally, but figuratively. We are streaming live on Twitch right now. But if you'd like to see examples of previous episodes, such as us interviewing Andrea Libman, John Delancey, Bill Newton, Dusty Cat, and other fandom personalities' words, be sure to check us out on iTunes, Google Play Music, and all the places where you digest your podcast-related material. The lovely Anon Pencil is watching this chat stream right now. Pencil, what are questions we don't ask our guest?
Our guest has said he's going to be pretty comfy with a lot of our obscene awfulness. Just double checking, right, Raugos? You're good with the awful?
Yeah, that's fine.
So we can ask him weird shit, but don't ask him about politics. Don't ask him about religion. Don't ask him where he actually lives, address-wise, or what his social security number, which isn't a thing, so don't worry about it. Don't ask him what his real name is, and don't be a dick. Otherwise, I'm not going to ask the question, and if you're too much of a dick, I will fucking ban you. So do better, please. Also, we have a drinking word. Priest, what's a drinking word work? How does it work? Explain how drinking word go.
Whenever you hear the drinking word live on stream, that gives you the opportunity to take a nice, healthy, relaxed, responsible drink. Please do not drink too much right now. You know, there's enough stuff going on in the world right now. But our drinking word for today is... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear yeah? Have a nice, healthy, responsible drink.
What are you, gay?
Yeah.
Weird. Well, I think we've dilly-dallied long enough. It's time to jump into the actual interview. Raugos, are you ready? So, without further ado, let's jump into our actual interview questions. We'll stave off the tide for a little bit. We'll ease into this gradually. Who are you? General introduction, and what do you do in the fandom?
Okay, I'm Raugos, and I mostly participate in the fandom by writing fan fiction on film fiction, so that's where you can find my stuff. Well, I joined the fandom about right at the end of 2011, I think. So it's been
Very early.
a long time, yeah.
Awesome. So what led you to get into the fandom? What was the catalyst that led you to decide, okay, I'm going to watch this show?
Right. I remember there was this webcomic that I used to follow. I think it was called Broken Plot Device, and one day it just had the characters there talking about this little kids show that one of the characters really got into, and the other guy was like, oh, it's just a show for little girls. Who would ever get into that? And then he started watching it, and then he totally got into it. And the author's notes was that this is a real thing. Go look at it. So I did, and I watched the series premiere, and it was okay. It didn't seem all that special yet. Then I just started watching another episode, and then another episode, and then before I knew it, I was like, okay, I guess I'm watching this now.
Well,
I think I started watching it right around the time season 2 was just about to start, so it was a pretty good time to jump in.
yeah, that's the perfect time to jump in. I know I jumped in mid-season once, and so that withdrawal between seasons is rough. The next question that we have is, what is your favorite part of the fandom? The online community, fan fiction, conventions, music. What ends up keeping you here?
Mostly it would be the content that people put out. So fan fictions, the art, YouTube videos, fan animations, and so on. So there's a whole lot of it. I think that's pretty much the best part of it, because I think without all of that additional content, I don't think I would have stayed a fan for very long after watching each season finish. So yeah.
Awesome. Next question. The show on its own is over. We found ourselves past the final season. We're getting some really interesting new digital shorts that are supposed to continue past season 9 online. We're seeing this, boost in comics. We're season Generation 5's in progress. Pony Life is coming out, but nothing really is going to be able to capture that lightning in a bottle that was the creation and the maintenance of this fandom. Now that the show is over, where do we as a fandom go from here? How do we keep ourselves alive and relevant?
I don't think there's any particularly special thing that we need to do, like no emergency measures or anything like that. It's just going to be a matter of continuing to do what we do, whether it's writing fan fiction, drawing art, making videos and music, and so on. I think other fandoms have lasted on stuff like that alone, and we probably can as well. Maybe just not in the same capacity as we used to enjoy around 2013, 2014. So it's probably natural for the fandom to shrink a little as we go along, and I suppose we'll just have to see whether we cover any numbers or new fans as new official content comes along.
Well said.
Another way we could ensure that the brony survive is if we implement some sort of brony breeding program.
But, I mean, I don't want to fuck dudes.
Ahem.
Never mind.
Pretty sure he meant getting your kids into it, but yeah, we suppose that's another option.
Is just force the
Fucking dudes?
bronies to be gay? Like, I don't think that's going to make a lot of babies happen, because from what I understand, you really can't get preggers from fucking up the buddy. Hey, Milk, can you get preggers from fucking up the buddy?
No, but I definitely enjoy trying, you know.
But doesn't that make orange soda?
One deviant art word. Mpreg.
You mean he's not wrong, but, you know, still, the practice is more fun than the actual doing, so, you know.
And art has been lying to us.
Oh, shit.
that How am I gonna segue off the word shit? Speaking of shit, who is best pony?
That's perfect.
Okay, yeah, best pony for me has changed from season to season. I think best pony for me the first time was Rainbow Dash. Then season 2 it became Luna, and then now sort of gone all over the place. Sometimes it's Twilight, sometimes it's back to Luna, and back to Rainbow Dash again. So one of these three. It's probably one of those three.
I like it. Good answer. Well, we've already got a question from the chat. So it's time. Other guy asks you, how does your dick smell?
Good.
I do not I've not really tried to smell it, so can't say for sure.
Well, nothing's stopping you right now.
As long as it doesn't smell
I
like
think
durian.
I'll pass on that. Thank you.
Just promise me it doesn't smell like durian. That's all I gotta know.
Nah, it doesn't.
Oh, thank God. We're good then. We're fine. We're good. We're fine.
Now then,
Actually,
go ahead.
does Durian smell that bad to you guys?
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
I forget.
Yeah.
Did you have no sense of smell when you offered it to Priest?
I mean, we eat that stuff. Here in Malaysia, it's a very popular fruit. So, I guess we just have gotten used to it. Like, sense of smell has learned to differentiate between durian and other things that it smells like. I've been told it smells like trash or old socks or laundry, or even a gas leak. Yeah, normal to us. It's actually pretty nice.
I would compare it to a gas leak, actually. That's a really apt description, in my humble opinion.
Priest, you nearly choked on at the convention. What did it taste like?
Rotting flesh.
You've had rotting flesh before?
Yeah.
I plead the fifth.
Answer the question.
Priest has issues with food sterilization and keeping it fresh in his fridge and not realizing when it's rotten, so probably.
So, yeah, no, I actually had rotting steak before. I don't want to talk about it, but it tasted like that, and it was not a good time.
Isn't that called carrion?
Yeah,
Is that-
actually.
Okay, then, my apologies. But, hey, at least you can say you tried it, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I took away from it. Is like, I tried this thing that everyone says, hey, don't try it, and I'm dumb, so I tried it, and it was great. It's like me and hot sauces.
I didn't say you shouldn't try it. I sat there looking at you being like, yes, suffer as I have once suffered.
Hey,
Experience what I've experienced.
Hey, there's this fun game called Russian Roulette. Don't try it.
Is that where
Yeah.
you take like a little piece of durian and you put it in a sugar pill and like everyone has to pick a sugar pill out of a bowl?
You see, I don't think durian Russian roulette with like drinks or something would work because you can smell durian. Or at least, maybe, and that being said, if you played it against somebody like Raugos, he probably could just hold a straight face and pretend he didn't get the durian shot, I would guess.
No. What we should do is we should get like liquid durian, put it in the center of a Tootsie Pop, and give everyone a Tootsie Pop.
Could it
I might be
done?
able to find that kind of flavor in specialty shops, I guess. But no, I shared it with a lot of the other guys at BronyCon, and Priest, I think you might have been the only one out of 2 or 3 people who couldn't take it, and well, yours was the most impressive reaction.
Yeah, no, I felt bad for being a jerk, but like
No worries. I mean, if you can't eat it, you can't eat it. No need to force it down. But I was surprised that a lot of people were okay with it, or actually found it quite pleasant.
Huh. I wonder if there's something in like the taste buds that just makes you react to it.
The older folks seem to enjoy it more. So yeah, the maybe reduced function and taste buds might help with that, or maybe just maybe as you get older, you just acquire a taste for more stuff, I suppose.
Whoa. Define older.
George and Olden Brony tried it, and they both seem to like it. So,
I was gonna say, like, I'm in my 30s. I still hate that shit.
like, did you try the fresh stuff, or was it candy flavored, or what?
I've had durian repeatedly. The first experience to durian was the actual fruit itself, which looked beautiful, but I smelled it like a mile away. The second experience was an alcoholic shot, which initially went down really nice, and it had this moment, I was like, oh, that's not so bad. And then I breathed out, and when I breathed out, it tasted bad. Like, I was like, oh no, and it stuck to my gums, and that made me feel really bad. And then the third time I had it, it was a candy, but it was like a chew candy, so it stuck to my teeth.
So what I'm getting from all this is that only people who have a foot in the grave enjoy this fruit.
It does taste like death to me. It does taste like death, so that would make sense.
I know most everything. I think he tried some as well, and he was okay with it. And Present Perfect really seemed to like it. So, so yeah, it's
Present Perfect also likes my story, so I'm not surprised he likes bad things.
Aha!
But just in case you guys ever find the opportunity again, just to let you know, the fresh fruit it has many varieties, and the flavor and texture varies quite wildly with each species. So here in Southeast Asia, we generally tell Westerners, try at least 3 because it'll probably be a different one each time. I mean, if you can, put up with trying it again.
Interesting.
So how effective is durian lube then?
Well, why? Why would you do that?
We haven't asked any questions. We've just been talking about durian for 15 minutes.
Let's go. Let's learn more about you, Raugos. It's great to. It's such a small world, and we're so happy to have you on. Terry the Human's up first. What is your favorite and least favorite MLP episode?
Favorite episode. It's hard to pick one. I think 100th episode, the fan service episodes, the 200th one, the fan service episodes are great. But I really like the Lunar Eclipse, because it really felt like it was quite a moment in the fandom. Everyone had seen the leaked screenshots of Luna returning in season 2, and everyone was saying, "Oh, that must be fake. She looks taller now. She's so dark compared to her season 1 appearance." And then when she actually appeared, I think everyone was sort of freaking out, like, "Oh wow, that's so cool," and totally unexpected. So it's one of my favorites. And I think one of the favorite overall episode, I think that would be Amending Fences. That's the first one that comes to mind. Like, great pacing, great animation, good morals, and it ties back to earlier episodes. Like, it has just about everything done just about right.
Which one was Amending Fences again? Describe that.
Twilight goes back to Lancelot and meets Moon Dancer and apologizes for missing her party from the season, from the entire series premiere.
Right, and then it ends with Moon Dancer beating the shit out of Twilight with a piñata stick.
I think we've watched a very different episode, but yeah, that's the one we're talking about.
The localized episode, of course.
Yep.
All right.
And the question also included least favorite, right?
Yes.
All right, least favorite episode. I think it's probably got to be Spike at Your Service or Princess Spike.
I
Wait,
see.
Like,
wait,
oh my goodness.
Wait, do you hate Spike? Do you hate Spike? Do you hate Spike?
No, I don't hate Spike. I hate what those episodes did to Spike.
Damn, we were so close to being best friends. Do continue.
Yeah, I mean, like, Spike is frequently the butt monkey of most episodes, but those two like really, really take the cake in terms of like making him out to be kind of awful on top of being the butt of all jokes as well. And I think Princess Spike is probably a little worse because I think it messes up the morals it's supposedly trying to teach. Because from what I remember, it was about Spike abusing his authority to get stuff for himself. But the bad things that happened to him were not because he abused his authority, but because of external events outside of his control. So, and in the end, the other characters are chastising him for that as if those things were his fault, but not for the actual wrongdoing that he actually did. So, yeah, I think kids might pick up on that, and it's like, that stuff wasn't his fault. So, yes, that it was not a great episode for me.
Totally
I
fair.
think it was. Yeah, it was the only episode that actually made me write a fic for it.
Oh, all right. All right,
Yes.
The next question that we have is, what are your top 3 memories as a Brony?
3 memories. Okay, going to BronyCon 2019, that would be one of it. Which, by the way, I totally was not prepared for enjoying myself at a convention because I've never been to a fandom convention before, so I was like totally lost. Like, I didn't know what to do, didn't really know anyone, so yeah, I was kind of wandering around for the first couple of days, not sure. So, but anyway, I met a lot of nice people, a lot of great people. So it was still an experience. Also, first time visiting the United States. So, I've heard so much about you guys.
Hopefully, mostly average.
Which category of people did I fall in? Nice or great?
Nice.
You don't have to flatter him. You can tell him he's shit like we do.
I didn't really speak to you guys for any great length, so I wouldn't have been able to see anything else under the surface, I guess.
No, that's totally fair. And from what we can tell, you've definitely made an impression, at least with several, prominent members of the community. Jorg and Olden Brody included. Like it definitely seems.
Well,
like
I will say one thing though. When I exited the train station, and just as soon as I stepped out of the door, it was around midnight at the time, and there was this African American yelling because I think he had missed the bus or something. He was like going, "Ah, damn it!" It was like, wow, he really sounds like Americans do in the movies.
I'm happy that we sound like the way we do in the movies. I think that's a good thing. All right. We'll move our way on to the next question. What are your top 3 favorite film fiction stories?
Oh, top 3. Really asking the tough ones, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many over the years, so I can't. I apologize to anyone if I favorited your stories, but didn't mention it because it's just not off the top of my head. But the Hard Reset is one of it.
Oh, that one's a classic.
Read Fallout Equestria as well.
Yeah.
That actually got me to play Fallout 3.
Ooh.
So yeah, I actually read it without being familiar with the franchise.
So you can agree that Little Pip is best lesbian, right?
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite lesbian, so I can't really say for sure.
I love it.
Okay, moving on. Good story. Crossover written by Chris Overstreet, The Martian. Have you guys read that one?
The Martian.
I'm aware of it. It's on my list to read, but I haven't had the chance to enjoy it yet.
I've noticed it as well here and there, and it is pretty popular from what I've seen.
Yeah, and I think he actually shared it with the author of The Martian, like the actual author. And
wow.
Yeah, as far as I know, the author's response was, "Oh my god." I did not get any further information than that, but yeah, apparently that was an actual response.
Well, hey, good for them. Next question, time for an opinion. Who's worse, Zephyr Breeze or Spoiled Rich?
Oh, that's another tough one. I don't know. I mean, Zephyr Breeze is kind of young, so he's still got. He's obviously an adult and should know better, but he's still got time to learn. Whereas Spoiled Rich is, he's had a lot more time to know better.
So you're saying she's had a lot of time to curdle?
What?
Spoiled Rich is the wife to Filthy Rich.
Yeah. sorry. Back to my point was that she's had more time to learn from her mistakes and improve herself, but not really shown what she was like in the past, so can't say for sure. But she's also a parent, so she's responsible for a kid who has to learn from her. So I don't know. It's hard to say who's worse. I'd say it's even between the two of them.
But you see, spoiled rich is what we in the States call a Karen.
Right, okay.
That is very true. But what are you getting at, anyway?
Who likes Karens?
I mean...
yeah, no one. No one. But, yeah. I guess, now that you mentioned that, I suppose that tips Spoiled Rich a little further ahead of Zephyr Breeze, I guess. So, yeah, I guess we could go with Spoiled Rich, I guess.
All right. Next question that we have. What are your favorite male-female just ships from the show?
You mean canon ones, or...
You gotta say...
I think it'll be... Let's go headcanon ships. That tends to be what we usually go for.
Headcanon ships. I don't really read or follow that many shipping stories or even the artwork, so not sure if I really have the if we go with general fandom ones, I guess we could go with Sorin Dash.
I like that one.
Like, if I had to come up with a ship on my own, I would go with Tempest and Pharynx.
Yeah, that one I could see. I've seen some people do fan art of that.
I really like that, actually.
And I've actually written a story for that one as well, so yeah.
They're both just hard asses that the pressure of their hard asses can form diamonds.
That's lewd.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll go to the next question. Terry asks for number 6, which Barcast member would you turn into an alicorn?
Is it me?
I sure hope not.
Non-pencil, I guess? Ladies first?
A non-pencil is best princess.
Because that's what I need. More power and the ability to kill people. Fantastic!
More responsibility.
All right, up next. If you could change one thing in any episode, what would it be and why would you do it?
Change one thing in... I suppose the overall series finale, I would change the art style for Twilight and Spike just a bit in the last problem, because I wasn't really a fan of Twilight looking like a Celestia recolor final episode. It really looked like they just used the model and swapped the colors out to Twilight's colors. So that didn't look so good to me. And Spike, I mean, okay, it's fair enough to those who like the design, but I never really liked Spike's buff, stocky design.
Are you saying you don't like Chad Spike?
I guess so, yeah. I would have preferred a slightly sleeker look to him. Looks a little too chunky for me, but yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen other older dragons, and they're not swole like him.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I can certainly understand that. It definitely seemed like it was an oversight in the design.
He's really top heavy in that design.
He really is.
Yeah.
All right, up next. Who, if you had the chance to be in Equestria, who would you befriend if you were a pony?
You've got one friendship bullet. Who do you shoot?
I was initially going to say Rainbow Dash, but I think after a while she would get pretty grating. Twilight is probably going to be a very standard answer.
There's
I
also
don't know. I think I would like to be these friends with Starlight Glimmer. I think he would probably be a very interesting friend.
See, there's a problem with befriending Rainbow Dash, because the second she finds out you're a writer, she's going to demand you write her autobiography.
I can see that.
And then she'll claim it as her own as an autobiography.
Wow, rude.
I don't know whether that would be worse or writing Daring Do fan fiction for her.
Actually, no, she could commission you for those.
No, she'd be like, but I'm your friend. Can't you make an exception for me? Oh my goodness. All right, next question is, who would you betray if you were a pony in Equestria? So you earn their trust, and right at the minute that they need you the most, no.
We're swapping out the friendship bullet for a real bullet. Who do you shoot?
Tough. Yes, Cozy Glow. I mean,
you're shooting a child.
She would expect it.
She wouldn't expect it.
You would totally expect it.
You just destroyed that child.
She is lying face down in a growing pool of her own blood. What have you done?
That's awful.
Oh dear. But show seems to think it's fine throwing her in hell. Yeah.
I understand.
I don't know. I don't think there's any way for me to answer this question that would make me look good. So, moving on, I guess?
All right, moving on. Totally Not a Brony's up next. And he says, I liked your story. Talk about that. Talk about a non-question. So what story is he talking about here? Do you know?
Probably the story I wrote for Jake the Army Guys contest. Probably.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Tell us about the story a little bit for the people listening at home who haven't heard of it.
Okay, so the contest was about writing for featuring cultures from the far reaches of Equestria. So basically, anything that's non-standard from the ponies themselves. So I saw that contest quite early on, but I didn't really get into it because I didn't have any ideas at the time. It was only around until the last 5 or 6 days that I finally got an idea for it and started rushing to get it done. So it's basically about sirens and for those who haven't read the story and who don't know about anglerfish, we're going off on a tangent here.
I read this story. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so anglerfish have this interesting sexual dimorphism where the female is the relatively huge fish that monstrosity that everyone is familiar with. And the males are absolutely tiny, compared to them. And for a very long time, scientists couldn't figure out where the male anglerfish were because they didn't realize that they were so small. And they found that they were actually what they actually do is that when they try to find a mate, they will latch onto the female by basically chewing into her, and they will fuse with the female, and eventually degenerate until they're just a pair of gonads for the female to use to impregnate herself at her own convenience. The female can have multiple males connected to her like that. So anyway, back to the sirens. Sirens, incidentally, are much bigger than ponies. So, and I basically wrote about the culture of where ponies would offer males to the sirens to fuse with the sirens in exchange for protection from the sirens as protection for their fleets whenever they set sail. And the story is basically about a stallion fusing with a siren, and it's not exactly a pleasant experience. But
there is body horror.
Yeah. So if that's not your thing, you probably wouldn't want to get too much into it.
Cool.
Hey, it was something to. It was an idea that got stuck in my head and wouldn't leave me alone, so I had to put it down. And also, incidentally, if anyone is familiar with this artist on Derpy Boru, Badam Squish, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The artist's name is Badam Squish, so he does a lot of weird art, like a lot of interspecies diddling. So one of it happened to feature a pony and sort of like fusing with a kelpie, and yeah, that was also something that gave me the idea.
Coincidentally, like I got a bit of Lovecraft vibe from reading the story because the deal they made with the siren sounded a lot like the deal Innsmouth made in Lovecraft with Dagon.
I have not actually read any of Lovecraft's materials.
Fish people.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Up next, we're going to have Striker questions from RK Striker JK5. First question being, what is your favorite non-MLP franchise?
Okay. If I may, I probably will mention two because those were the two. There were two fandoms that I actually have written fan fiction for, aside from MLP. So first one was the Inheritance books by. I hope I don't mispronounce his name. Christopher Paolini. The first book is Aragon. Anyone familiar with that?
Oh, yes, I'm aware of that series.
Isn't that series where the guy rides a dragon and both meaning of the words?
Wow, gross.
Okay. Well, if that's what you mean, I guess we could go with that. Yep. Yeah. So it's basically concept of the Dragon Riders of Pern series combined with the setting of the Lord of the Rings with the plot from Star Wars. That's what most people describe it as. It was, I think I was about 15 when I first read it, and apparently the author had also written and published that book when he was 15 as well. So, that really got me into the fantasy genre, and also got me interested in writing. And before ponies, I was obsessed with dragons. So I used to just about every book featuring dragons that I could get my hands on. So I think up to date I have about more than 120 books that feature actual dragons as protagonists of some sort.
I'm curious now, since you brought up dragons. What is your opinion on Ember?
It's okay, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my obsession with dragons has sort of mellowed out a bit. And Ember's personality, I mean, I didn't find her all that interesting, I guess.
Not all that interesting.
Yeah.
You guess.
Yep. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite dragon, I think it would be Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, that's a good dragon, though.
And I mean the movie, not the books.
Yes. Toothless is a good dragon. Even I, a dragon denier, like Toothless. Up next, have you done any fan-related content or fan content for non-MLP franchises before?
I have done some fan art for How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, okay,
Just
cool.
Just a few pieces.
What?
What makes it awkward?
It's pretty old, so looking back at it, I'm not. Let's just say that there would be changes that I would make if I could do it again.
One change: not draw it in crayon.
Not quite that far back, but I think you get the idea. Yeah.
All right. Up next, we have questions from Short Skirts and Explosions, our resident background pony. He asks, "What doth life?"
Life doth continue until it doesn't, I guess.
That's a really good answer, actually.
The answer is live like a windrammer as you fuck.
References. Up next, we have questions from Entibus. Number 1, what do you think what is the best fan ship? And also, what is the worst fan ship?
I think we covered that in one of the previous questions already. So best ship, I would say Tempest and Pharynx.
Yes.
Worst ship. A worst ship. Anyone with cozy glow, I guess.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I don't think there are any ships with her aside with an older pound cake.
I think there's the T-Rex ship. Her and T-Rex.
That's illegal, sir.
I know, it's really gross.
Is that a ship or more like a dad thing? like as in adoption rather than shipping.
Would it be bad if I said I'm scared to Google?
I don't think convicts are allowed to adopt. Don't quote me on that.
But she's a convict too, so I guess that evens it out.
They're convicted for each other?
You want to try that again?
They're convicts together.
Sounds like marriage.
Now you made it weird.
I guess we could move on.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. These jokes don't work as well when Pencil isn't yelling at us. Next question, number 2. Do you have the chance to listen to Ponies at Dawn by chance? They're a fan musician group.
Yeah, I do listen to Ponies at Dawn and Forever Free Brony. Only thing is that I've been doing it while I'm actually working at home. So in the sense that I just run it on autoplay in YouTube and just listen. So I do have some favorite songs. It's just that I can't tell you what the titles are because I wasn't actually watching the video or looking at the video when I was listening to it, so I'm afraid I can't say which albums they are from either.
Loyalty, Laughter, Generosity. Wait, those were Mondo Pony. Those weren't ever free.
Yeah, those are Mondo Pony. But anyway,
I do like Soldiers of the Night. I think the Forever Free Bonnie cover. I think that one's pretty great.
Wasn't there an animated version of that as well?
If there is one, I have not seen it.
Yeah, I think there was one where a little Bat Pony family and a little Bat Pony filly is wondering where her dad is, and she's imagining him fighting something in the sky.
Huh.
Oh,
I'll check that out.
I think that might be a different video, actually.
It might be.
I'll check it out.
Up next, what's your opinion on Them's Fighting Herds?
I've not actually played it, but I do know that it rose from the ashes of fighting is magic. So good for them, in the sense that they made the best out of the situation, and looks like they managed to get something out of it after all.
And coincidentally, today it's no longer in beta. It is now finished.
It's true.
Oh, that's good for them.
Yeah.
And if you use this Barcast code, people in the viewing trees, you'll get like 15%. No, you won't.
No. Number 4. What non-canon race would you like to see in MLP? So, like, something just, something from, like, mythology or something from a fantasy book that you enjoy. What would you like to see in the show?
Let's see.
He's putting on his thinking cap, people.
Yeah. Mind Flayers from Dungeons and Dragons, maybe?
Oh.
That's a good choice.
I'm just tickled by the idea of Twilight making friends with a Mind Flayer, and Starlight having to control her urges to ask it for assistance with convincing people to see things her way.
I just imagine MLP with like Lovecraftian horrors in it.
I mean,
Yes, that would be cool.
I would watch it.
Lord Smooth.
Number 5. Can you do an impression of a diamond dog?
Oh, let's see.
They got that kind of raspy.
Gollum.
I mean, it pretty much is gonna sound like Gollum, isn't it? Ponies
Yeah.
dig for diamonds, yes.
Perfect. Great job. Up next, question 6. If the show had a mixed audience from the start and focused more on the characters and world building in the first few seasons, what things would change? What things would have more build-up besides season finales? So
Okay,
I guess
I need to read this question from the page itself.
yeah, it seems like they're asking, if the show wasn't designed for little girls and instead it was a all ages.
What I'm guessing
Drama.
it's asking is if it was more serious, like for the adult audience, what serious subplots do you think would be in it?
Yeah, I think that there's truth to that in the way you described it, Enigma.
I think it's possible for them to pretty much do the same thing that they've been doing. It's just that maybe that there will be a little more continuity between the episodes, and the outcomes and lessons that they learn will be just a little bit more nuanced, as opposed to being, just a simple, be nice to everyone and so on. Because there's really a lot of material to work with in the series itself. It's just that sometimes, due to the rating, the show doesn't take it as far as it can.
Mhm.
Like, I think a good comparison would be Avatar: The Last Airbender, because it does have a very a main storyline to follow. It does have a few standalone episodes here and there, and the tone it does occasionally, actually, it does frequently dip into the slice of life, comedic tones as well. But it balances that very well with the more serious aspects of the show in terms of characters growing up and learning from their mistakes. So if NLP had that kind of writing, I think it would have a bigger fandom than it does now, possibly.
I know one serious subplot I could think of that would have been interesting, that could have happened during a season. Could you guys imagine a season where the subplot was that Pinky was forced into an arranged marriage, and like the entire season, like she doesn't want to go through with it, and at the end she finally pulls off some cultural thing to cancel it.
I mean, I could see that, but at the same time, wouldn't that be? I don't know. I feel like that takes away a little bit from the feel-good aspect of what the show goes for. Because even when you get to later seasons and they start dealing with more serious fantasy elements and the overall plot gets more serious, it never stops necessarily being feel-good or everything turns out okay at the end. And I think that even if, let's say, the show is more like its final seasons, even in the beginning, I don't know. I feel like it would not have that same.
Well, if we take the arranged marriage concept, maybe instead of Pinky getting out of the marriage through a technicality, maybe it could be through whatever character interactions of the story. She eventually convinces the families to release them from the contract, because they understand that she has a better fit with someone else, and that might be a more positive exploration of the resolution for the conflict.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Pinky getting by on a technicality and upsetting all the families like that.
Meanwhile, Pinky's parents are like, "God damn it, Pinky, we need grandchildren for the farm."
Well, no one said it had to be a same-sex ship, but yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, we spent enough time on that. We're gonna move to. Actually, we're halfway through the cast. I'm just checking the time right now. So very quickly, hey Milk.
Yes.
Unmute yourself.
Fuck you, Enigma.
Did you know that 100% of our profits and proceeds go to horse rescue charities?
I thought they went to blow hookers and underwear.
No, that's completely incorrect and 100% off base.
None of us are wearing underwear.
Any sort of amount of bits that are donated through Twitch or any of the revenue that we get off of our streams on YouTube, send money to Red Wings Horse Rescue Sanctuary, where we last year donated over $700 to Little Bit, the horse that you guys voted on, and we support now. Every single little bit and every single little donation that you guys make to us through Patreon really adds up, and it allows us to help give back to the horses that made this fandom possible. Well, not actually, because they're digital cartoons, but, the real horses. The real folks.
The real horses that draw our fan art and write our fanfics.
The real heroes of everyday society.
Shut up, you two, because it's time to go back to the questions. Thank you, Raugos. Next question is from Lone Trooper. What is your most heartwarming moment at a convention?
It was nice to meet everyone at the convention, BronyCon 2019. Pretty much the only convention that I've been to. So, but it was great to be able to put faces to all the names that I've seen online, and the farewell speech at the closing ceremony, that was quite a touching moment. And walking home, after that, it was like, and then the next couple of days is like, holy shit! So this is what what was that term for what you feel after the convention?
Degeneracy.
No, it's
Con depression.
Yeah.
That's post-con depression. Yes, that's the word. Like, okay, post-con depression is a thing, and this is what it feels like. I wasn't kidding.
And then after that comes the calm crud.
It's true.
Oh yes. As soon as I got home back in Malaysia, I fell sick immediately the day after. But luckily that didn't happen while I was in transit. Otherwise, that would have been really nasty.
Yeah, I know many folks end up getting sick on their way home, and it's never a fun time. Number 2, what advice would you give to people who would like to start writing their own fan fictions?
Technical writing advice, I guess. Well, there are many guides online for that, so I think you should be able to find that on your own. In terms of the creative, in terms of creative direction, especially for MLP itself, if you're starting off, it's probably best to start with canon characters first, because with the characters, and therefore are more likely to take a look at your story, because I know it's very tempting to want to start off writing with your magnum opus, with your OC and your own entire cast right off the bat. But the reality is that, unless you are already a very experienced writer, it's not. It's going to be tough to get an audience with a completely original character, unless you really manage to write like a killer intro and synopsis to draw people's attention to it, and manage to not lose them in your first couple of thousand words. So yeah, it's
what are you saying? I wrote an OC-centric story that 14 people read. That's a lot.
Okay, I guess.
To be fair,
how do I say this without sounding like an ass?
No, please be an asshole to him.
I mean, okay, if you're starting your career on film fiction and you want to build it from the ground up, with whatever story you like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are, at least from I hate to sound like a marketing executive, but if you are trying to maximize your exposure at the beginning, let's just say that it's other factors being equal, you probably will get more traction going with canon characters first. Getting feedback on your story, on the kinds of mistakes that you make to improve on it. Take what you learn and then bring that into your OC centric story later on.
Said. That's great advice. Next question that we have is, what did you draw on for inspiration when writing Aquaphilia?
Okay, yeah, so I think I answered that already with the previous question, but just a quick recap. So I already knew about the anglerfish sexual dimorphism before this, and also I had seen Badam Squish's artwork on Derpy Boru. So put that together with the concept of sirens, and that's what happened. So
There was one thing I was confused about when I was reading that story. Do sirens have multiple vaginas?
Well, they only have 2 legs, so just one.
But the thing was that they had multiple partners attached to them, and they can't.
You know what? I actually didn't really think too much about the logistics of that, but let's just say that they can grow more than one after one is occupied, I guess.
I like it. I like this headcanon. This is great. Next question. Which Barcast member would you like to work with if the 2 of you could collaborate on a story?
Well, I ain't a yes man. I just called you on your vagina thing, so you need me.
Wow.
I've not really read that. I think I'm most familiar with some of Flutter Priest's stories.
Why,
so
I never.
I'm more familiar with Priest's stories. I think the only story I've read from Anon Pencil is I think it was one about was it Gabby who was puking?
Oh, that's sorry, and I'm sorry. That's not even one of my good bad ones. That's just like genuinely bad. I'm sorry.
Okay, but yeah, so not a good sample size, but yeah, I guess I would just say go with Priest because I just happen to be more familiar with his works.
How dare you not
vote for standards?
How dare you not read my stories? I want to talk to your manager.
Don't have a manager, but okay.
I mean, don't be a Karina.
Get out.
No.
Up next, which planet would you travel to get out of the house? And once there, what would you like to see on that planet? Not including Earth. Let's assume that you have the proper equipment to survive on that planet as well.
I am not sure. Okay, the gas planets are pretty much ruled out because you won't be able to see anything. I guess Mars will be the most interesting because it's also the most probable candidate for terraforming at the moment. So yeah, I would say Mars. And what if there's anything I would like to do on that? So I don't know, on it, I guess.
All right. Number 6. Where would you like to see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years, both personally and professionally? Obviously, without going into detail, but.
Professionally, I don't know. It's let's just say that I'm working at, or where I'm working at. It's not really my dream job, so I'm hoping that maybe one day I'll be able to find a job that I'm more passionate about. So there's that. And personally, I don't know. Probably get a girlfriend and get married. That would be nice.
And then
parents are already reaching the stage of saying, you know what, hey, grandkids. So yeah, it's already at that point.
Yeah, you fuse to your girlfriend's waist and become her gonads.
Oh man,
gross. Up next, we have, what do you believe the future holds? The future holds for the site of FimFiction.
The 90 plans to make it to either change it or merge it into general fiction, so that it branches out into other other fandoms as well, which is fair enough. It probably could do with a traffic boost. As for everyone else, I guess we'll just continue writing as we always do, and hopefully we'll be able to maintain passion and momentum for that. I think that's largely also going to depend on what happens with the official content that gets put out in the next few years. I don't really have high hopes for Pony Life and the stop motion shorts that are on YouTube right now. So hoping Gen 5 will at least live up to Gen 4, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's a good hope to have. Let's see, number 8. Out of everything you've done in your life, what are you most proud of that's not related to My Little Pony? Not like super personal, obviously, but
I guess managing to get a job and holding on to it for as long as I have. I mean, that's something that not everyone manages to keep. So that's nice.
yeah,
Something to be grateful for.
that's something to be proud of, too. What games, movies, TV shows, fan fictions, or books would you personally recommend to everyone to help pass the time?
Okay. Games. Let's see. I would say if you have not played it, trilogy would be a good place to start. Or Star Wars, The Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Those are great RPG games that you get into. How to Train Your Dragon is great. TV shows, I would recommend The Expanse if you like science fiction. And fictions, let's see. Fallout Equestria, I recommend that. But see if there's, but the length can be pretty damn intimidating as well. So, Hard Reset is also another cool one. Yeah, I mean those are the two ones that I would recommend off the top of my head right now. And books.
The Martian?
I would recommend the. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. The Tamaria series by Naomi Novik. It's basically about it's alternate history fiction, Bionic Wars, but with dragons in it. So it's a pretty cool series.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure people check those out. Get some links down in the video. And finally, number 10, would you share the Wi-Fi password?
9.
9?
Uh-huh.
Is the Wi-Fi password 9?
Is it capital N-I-N-E? Or is it
9
like...
means no.
Oh! All right. I see how it is. Now then, we have questions from other guy who loves to come on and just shock us with things that he uncovers from the dark corners of the internet. So what's provided for us today is, it's something certainly special. How does this picture, Raugos, make you feel?
Oh boy.
At first, I thought that was some variation of Mickey Mouse. He has the right colors and he has that round face with the back around it. So that was the first thing that jumped into my head. Mickey Mouse, Disney, and I think it's a pretty appropriate image to associate with Disney as a corporation. Yeah, Silverstream, you can do better.
On the island of Sodor, Thomas. Wait, no.
Now we have questions from Alex _, our resident intern. Number 1, do you have any beauty tips you can share with us?
I am terrible at grooming, so no, I don't think so.
All right. Next question is, have you ever seen a really scary animal, like, up close?
Yeah, okay. Up close, I had a python around my neck before, but that was with the snake charmer right next to me, so that's as close as I've gotten to a scary animal. It wasn't as scary at that moment because most likely I think the snake charmer had drugged the snake. Yeah, I was pretty young at that time.
It was just a python. Like, what type of python?
Like a 15-foot python, the kind that can squeeze you to death.
Well, yeah, but they don't really want to. It's a lot.
Actually, yeah, but I mean, for me personally, no, I don't recall having any really encounters with animals. The scariest situation I've been in was my house was broken into. Like I opened my door from my room in the middle of the night and saw the thieves picking through our keys, and it was like shit,
Terrifying.
Yeah,
That's actually terrifying. Yeah.
So he waved the crowbar at me, and I just closed my door and locked it. And yeah, they and just let them take the stuff, But
Yeah.
The thing is that it wasn't that scary in the moment itself because it's like I've just woken up in the middle of the night. I'm too out of it to even realize how scary it actually is. So. I mean, everyone tells themselves like, okay, if I ever find myself in this situation, I would do this, I would do that, and no, I didn't even occur to me to call the police. It's because it's like my brain is just going, shit, this just happened. What the hell?
I like to think when you saw them, you turned to them with your groggy eyes and you said, "Take what you want, but don't make any noise." And then went back to bed.
Oh, man.
Up next, we have, how much wisdom do you think you've gathered in your many years on Earth?
Not very much, probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what exactly I'll be measuring it up against. And I mean, maybe in 10 years from now, I'll probably be thinking, man, what an idiot. I mean, I definitely think that of myself like 15 years ago. So yeah.
Meanwhile, 15 years from now, you is gonna be like, man, what an idiot for liking ponies.
What? No, that's not how this works at all. Anyway, my goodness. The next question, number 4. When it comes to writing comedy, how do jokes work?
Oh, I don't know. They just happen. I'm not very. Comedy isn't. I don't know. I don't think comedy is really my specialty in that sense.
Fair enough.
I think when I try to write comedy, or at least what I enjoy most in terms of comedic moments in books that I read is character interactions that reveal things about their personalities that result in a funny situation. So yeah.
All right. Number 5. Are you a good dancer?
No, I don't dance.
You don't dance, like, at all. All right.
He's got no ants in his pants. What do you want, priest?
I want our friend to find a lady and dance with them because it is a good time and a good experience to have had.
Here, here.
Okay.
Now then, Muggeny's up next, and he appears to have just gone for broke because he has laid before us a whole array of disturbing imagery, and I don't think I'm okay. Let's look at this. We're going to start with dipping a corn dog in mayonnaise, just like in the jar. How does this make you feel?
I've never had a corn dog, so I don't know how to feel about that.
Fair enough.
Strawberry and mayo.
The strawberry he dips in the mayo.
No, I don't think so. No.
You guys don't like cream strawberries?
No, that's not
mayo.
cream.
No.
Not in
Mayo.
mayo.
Then he dips a pickle in mayo, which I think is illegal.
Okay, quick question. Do the McDonald's in the USA have fish burgers?
Yeah, they have fish burgers. They're called the filet of fish.
Oh,
The filet of fish. Do they put the sliced, the diced pickle and mayo on top of the fish?
Yeah, that is kind of like a pickle mayo combination. You're right.
Yeah. So I guess I'm sort of okay with that then.
Tartar
I've
sauce.
had it before.
Yeah. Up next, we have the whole jar of mayonnaise just being put into the pickle jar.
I have no idea why you will want to do that, but if it saves space in your cupboard, then that's fine, I guess.
Then he seems to have taken the juice from the pickle jar and put it into a pot and brought it to a boil. And then I think he's taken a tea bag and put it in the boiling water.
Who
And
sent this? Was this Dino Tendies?
No, this is Muggany, and he
wishes he was Dino Tendies. He wishes he was Dino Tendies.
great burn pencil. Just this pickle juice tea. How does pickle juice tea make you feel?
I do not know. I have no idea what that would even taste like. But I mean, if
Nothing
someone
good.
offered it to me, I would probably give it a try.
See, I worry if I tried this, it would just be like a repeat of the Durian experiment. Seton's up next. Number 1, what is your favorite meal, snack, or food stuff that's really unhealthy, but it's just so good?
Okay, there is this Chinese pork jerky that is pretty much barbecued and glazed with either sugar or honey. That's really, really good. And it's usually prepared around Chinese New Year. So if you want to search for it, in Mandarin it's called bak kwa, or in Cantonese it's long yok. So it's good stuff, really good.
Awesome.
And I don't know if there are any Chinese supermarkets in the USA. I think there probably are. You might be
There
able
are.
to find some of it over there if you are curious about it.
Awesome. Next question that we have is, what is the biggest or weirdest fear that you have?
Hmm. I guess it's sort of mellowed out over the years, but I remember I really used to be really freaked out by the chest bursters in Aliens.
Oh, I like that.
Like,
That is
yeah,
a good
I
answer.
just freaky. Not too bad now, but yeah.
They burst out of your chest as a new pair of gonads.
A few gonads today.
He didn't answer the multiple vaginas question, Priest.
Honestly, Priest, he's got to talk about gonads now. How on earth is he going to anywhere else, considering he doesn't have any?
Yeah,
No.
it's not like I'm gonna go ask Daddy. Oh wait.
If that was made to make me feel bad, it failed. So, now then, why is bagged milk the best milk?
Like
So
milk.
This is a phenomenon that in some parts of the world, instead of putting milk into carton or jugs, they put them into plastic bags.
Okay. And is this sold by a street vendor or like an actual supermarket?
Supermarkets. Want me to go find a picture?
Okay.
It is important to me because I fucking hate it.
I mean, it doesn't seem that strange to me because here in Southeast Asia, it's very common for street vendors to pack drinks into plastic bags and just tie it off with string.
No. Let me explain what these fuckers do. Do you okay? So you got a bag of milk. You buy it. It's just a plastic bag of milk. And so they have the plastic bag of milk, and one would think they take the milk, and then they take the they cut the corner off, and they have a carton, and you would think they take the bag of milk and they pour it into the carton or the pitcher, and then they keep it in the pitcher, right? That's what logic would dictate, right? Yes.
Yep.
They don't do that. They take the whole bag. Still in the bag, plop it into the pitcher, cut the corner off the bag, and then use the pitcher to pour it out of the bag. And if you think I am kidding, take a look at that. That is what they do.
Let's see.
That is how bagged milk works in Canada, and it's fucking stupid, and I fucking hate it.
Do they typically finish the entire bag in a day, or
no?
Or do
They make
store it
special clips. They make special clips to hold the bag closed in some places.
It's true. Milk clips.
I believe you.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, that just seems a little strange.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's all we want. Number 4. What is your one annoying habit? So something that other people do that annoys you, or something you do that typically annoys other people.
I suppose I tend to shake my leg quite a bit when I'm just sitting down idle.
Restless leg.
Yeah, so I do know that it does annoy some people, so that's my habit.
All right. Up next, what is the theme song for your sex life?
Mm. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So you jerk in the dark, I see.
Gross.
You go with that, I suppose.
Number 6. Are you a fan of anime by chance?
Yes, I don't know if I'm call myself like a fan per se, but I have watched several anime series, and there are a few that I do like.
What ones do you enjoy?
Okay, so I've watched Standalone Complex, the both seasons, and Full Metal Alchemist, both versions. And if there's anyone that I recommend, I would recommend One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100.
Cool. Let's see. Up next, we have number 7. Just how big is your porn stash?
I do not have a porn stash.
Smart man. Just check it out online. No need to download it. You don't have to answer that.
And now the need of having a porn stash is no longer needed with NordVPN.
Wow. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Now it's time for questions of Violon. Enigma, would you please?
No, I got this.
Okay,
Got this.
Pencil, would you please?
It's time for questions with Bylon.
All right. Raugos, Violon asks, how are you today?
I'm all right, thank you.
And that concludes questions of Violon. Violon's usually known for coming on and asking some of the most very distressing questions that we've ever had on the cast, but looks like you were let off easy this week. Now it's time for a non-Pencil's questions. Pencil, would you like for me to read your questions, or would you like to?
I would like you to do it, please.
Sounds great. Question number 1. What would you whisper into a vagina?
Wait, was that the answer?
Yeah, Hail Hydra. I cut off.
And what would it whisper back? All I got was
On your left.
Probably Hail Hydra right back.
Yeah.
All right. The next question from Pencil is Durian. Why?
It's
Why Durian?
delicious.
Oh. Clearly I didn't think so. Clearly Pencil didn't think so. But I tell you what, it was definitely one of the most memorable experiences of my BronyCon 2019. So I thank you for that. If people don't know what we're referencing to, there's a video out on YouTube of me eating durian and just about vomiting. Last question from Pencil is, would you please, for us, attempt an American accent?
I'm so ready.
I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I don't got no time to attempt an American accent.
It's so Texan. Oh,
Love it.
I like what I've learned over the course of the Barcast that every foreigner thinks that all of America is Texas. It's just so entertaining.
We don't think that. It's just that it's the most iconic one, I guess. If we were to pick an American accent,
Yeah, I can see that. Like, yeah. But it's just southern states, man. It's just the rest of it. It's fine.
Now we have a question from Martin Luther Parks, who comes in and generally screams at people. Have you stopped being a necrophile? Which probably means that you never actually were. So, not really a good question.
So have you stopped?
Yeah. How do you stop if you haven't started?
Well, then you succeeded in stopping before you even had to. So there you go.
Yay!
Yay! Congratulations on not being a necrophile.
You're a good person. Now then, last question of the night is from Eighth. Could you please, for us, talk dirty and make airplane noises?
Okay, I think I will pass on the airplane noises. But, okay, if we want to talk dirty, right. So, I don't know about you guys, but I have a belly button that's actually pretty deep and has some folds of skin that covers it. So it does accumulate dirt a bit, and I do have to clean it out every now and then. So, if do you want me to go into details?
Yes,
Or
please.
do I stop?
You started us down this. You started us down this road. Now we have to. I'm disgusted and intrigued.
Right. So okay, apparently for most people, their belly buttons are just like depressions on their belly, and it's pretty open. Whereas mine, since it has a fold of skin covering it, I do have to take a cotton bud and dig around a bit to make sure I get all the dead skin and dirt out of it. And I guess if you does smell nasty, I guess. So there's that. So it is pretty dirty. And bonus fact, I guess. Completely different part of the body. Do you guys know what tonsil stones are?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So I do get those occasionally as well, and sometimes they get big enough that I have to dig them out as well.
Yes.
And I think there was this one time where it was so heavily stuffed and impacted in there that, and I don't know why, but it had narrow strip of flesh holding the tonsil stone in there. So that was gross and a little difficult to get it out as well. There you go.
I'm proud of you. And I have to say, so you have like a weird little kangaroo pouch on your belly, and apparently the chat has lots of questions about it. So,
oh, great. Okay.
This is what we're doing now, apparently. This is my life fucking now. All right. First question is, have you tasted the belly button bacon? The belly bacon.
No, I have never tasted it, and I don't plan to.
Very, very smart. The next one is from Alex _ that says, how many grapes could you fit in your belly button?
A really small grape, I guess. Just one, maybe. Never tried, and I don't intend to try either.
Very, very wise.
I don't recommend trying to put grapes into your belly button, to be perfectly honest. That sounds like a good way to get some sort of awful infection, and you don't want that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Nor should you use it to store portable snacks, as per Alex _ suggestion. Because as disturbing as it would be like, hold on, it's time for my mid-morning snack, and you pull up your shirt and just dig out a cheese and crackers or something. Please don't do that. I can also say that's a great way to get all sorts of infections. Do not do that.
This is how you get ants.
Nor should you have belly button fermented wine. Just don't ferment things in your belly button. I'm sure Raugos can tell you all about how it's a bad idea because he's probably a sane individual compared to a lot of our chat members.
Or us.
Yes.
So then the final question from the chat that we've got is from the other guy. Do you finger your belly button to bring yourself to orgasm? Wow. Okay.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Yes, that's not how anything works.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who has a fetish for belly buttons and is like, yeah, let me just finger that shit, oh baby. But again, I think Raugos is a sane person, despite the Durian, enjoyment. But they seem to be a vaguely sane person, so I don't think that they're going to do that. Fantasize in your own time, chat.
Love how you have to qualify that with vaguely.
Well, I mean, because Durian, and also you're here. Also, you're on My Little Pony fan fictions. Like, I mean, things have limits, man. Things have limits.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that said, that is all the questions that we have for today. With that in mind, Raugos, if there are any questions that someone catches this on iTunes or YouTube and they're like, oh man, I can't believe I missed that. I want to ask them a question still. What would be the best way for them to get in contact with you? Like a PM on FimFiction, Discord? How can we get in contact with you?
FimFiction is probably the best way to reach me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us. And once again, congratulations on how well you did in Jake's contest.
Thank you.
Now then, Milk, if you are here, who do we have next week?
Nobody yet. We're still waiting on some information.
That's right. We have some stuff coming down the pipe that could be really exciting. And so you guys will have to just wait in excitement for that. But until next week, your Barcasters have been a non-pen.
Wait. First of all, are there any words of wisdom you want to be remembered by, Raugos?
Words of wisdom.
Yes, final parting words to your general public.
Have fun. Keep doing what you enjoy within the fandom. That's and always seek to improve your craft. So that would be advice. Yeah.
Well fucking said. And the other thing is, we had an anonymous donator for the bits today, but our top bits giver, whose name is actually attached with only one fucking bit, is other guy. So thank you, other guy, for donating your bit to us. We really, really appreciate it. Now you can read us out, Priest.
Thank you.
Sorry, if I could just ask you guys something.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So, if any of you guys been to Southeast Asia in that region or Malaysia itself?
I've not had the honor.
I haven't either, unfortunately, and Enigma hasn't really traveled anywhere, so no.
See, okay. Well, if you guys ever decide to visit Malaysia, just give me a call, and I'll be happy to take you guys around enjoy all the sights and views and flavors that we have on offer.
You're gonna feed us fucking Durian again, aren't you?
Yes.
We have a lot more than just durians, but hey, if you're willing to give it another shot.
Oh Lord. Well, I will happily give you. I'll hit you up if I'm ever in that area. Thank you for the offer. That's so sweet of you. Even after we made you miserable. Oh.
It's true.
All right, now you can read us out, Priest.
It's okay. I'm looking both ways before I cross the street. Thank you, everyone, for watching this edition of the podcast. Your bartenders for this evening have been a non-pencil, Enigmatic Otaku,
No, don't touch me there. This is my no square.
Flammenwerfer was here.
I was present.
It's true. Milk was here.
Was I?
Probably. Our amazing guest, Raugos.
Thanks, guys. It was a lot of fun.
And my name's Butterpriest. See you all next week!